Hi, it's John. I am back with another tip. This time we're looking at food banking. So a lot of people have been asking me, how do you save up your character and food resources for when you're trying to go big on a level up tournament? And really the big tip in this is how you use your training grounds. And so you'll see here I have 3 training grounds and I have timers running on 2 of them. The one that I don't have a timer running on, that's one that I pretty much use as a doorway. Once your timers start to expire, if you touch the training grounds that you're running on, you'll collect all the characters that you've been generating. So really the key for me is to try to save up those food resources and survivors and tunes that you generate from them in the training grounds themselves. And the way that I do this is by going into the training grounds that I'm not running and picking train. And then once I get in there, you can pick next to go into the next training grounds. Now here's where I save most of my resources. Right now I have 454,000 food and 94 survivors. What I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to click on the little plus button and I'm going to add those resources into my special training grounds. Then if I hit next, and I can go to my other training grounds. Here I'm training some hunters. I'm hoping to add some AR to some Jesuses that I'm leveling up, and they need the hunters to level up the ARs, obviously. So one of the things that you can do when you get into time for the level tournament is, so now you've banked up a bunch of your survivors and food resources in your special training. You can actually click on the minus, and that will add food and add survivors back to your resources. And then you can go back into the wilderness training or whatever training grounds you're leveling or creating the types of tunes that you need. And now you can add those resources into here and generate more hunters for the purpose of leveling. And then you can do the same thing. You can take back out of there. You can take 9 of those out and go back to the other side over here and add 1 back in. So either way, but the advantage here is that rather than creating something out of food and then selling it later for half the value of the food that you created it with, you can actually dump all of your food into the training grounds, and as long as you keep that timer running, you can keep adding more food and more survivors to that training ground. So really using the special or the elite training is really the way to go with that. I like to use the special just because it's a little bit easier if you start getting full on resources to move things around. If I already had like 800,000 food sitting here, it might be a little more difficult to dump out of elite and into my into my food bank. So here with special training, I'm only dumping out 150 at a time, and it's a little bit easier to manage the resources that way. So really from there, the only other tactic is just to, save your supplies. In your inbox, you get rewards. You can save those for up to 30 days. You don't need to open them up right away when you get them. So if you want to bank food that way, there's no cost there. The other thing is in your inventory after wars, you'll get all of your war crates in your general inventory tab. I don't have any at the moment, but don't open the war crates when you get them. Just save them for a level up event. There'll be a whole bunch of burts mixed in with some supply depot points. And rather than opening them right away and then having the burts take up space on your roster, you can leave them sit in the war crates and just open them when you get to a level event. So those are some good tips, but the main trick really is just making sure that you have enough food resources when a level event arrives. If we go back into my special training, you'll see that I'm actually training 28 28 new tunes out of the special training 3-star tunes, and those 28 tunes basically each equal 154,000 food. So if you take 154,000 times 28, that's how much food I have saved in my training right now. So it's a really easy way, like I say, to save food without a cost to you. If you go into, one of your workshops, and let's say you go in and create some high replenish and then sell those back later. The only problem with that is however much food it takes you to create the high replenish, you only get half of that back when you sell it. So you're instantly losing half of your food just by creating it. With the training grounds, you're not losing any food. So take a closer look at the training grounds and how you can use it aside from training soldiers as a way to save food.